Welcome to Protohome.
Give me a P! Give me an R! Give me an O! Give me a T! Give me an L! I've got it! Give me an E!
What does that make? For the past 3 months, members of Crisis Skylight Newcastle have had the opportunity to take part in an exciting project, learning new skills, earning qualifications, gaining confidence, meeting new people and forging friendships as part of a team. And we also built a house.
The project came about from a research project that I'm undertaking. So I'm doing a PhD in human geography at Durham University, but I'm also an artist. So it was looking at self-help housing really in informal settlements in Albania. So looking at how they constructed the housing and also how they kind of constructed social networks in building the housing. So I thought, well, there's a lot to learn from that experience of housing for the Western context, and so I had this idea to work with a group of people to almost build a prototype house, and then got in touch with Crisis, and they were really interested in being involved in the project and having their members involved in the project. So we just went from there really. And it's been great, it's been fantastic.
That first time when we met, I think for me when we exploring opportunities of working with partners and looking at projects, there are always risks about it, but to me it's always about the people. And if the people are inspiring and you know that they're going to be there and they're going to deliver on what they say they're going to deliver, and that was really the key, was that you could see that was something that was definitely going to come from this team.
So we'll do workshops here and build it in sections.
The project was introduced to the members as part of a launch event in February. Everyone got the chance to take part in a mini build of a photo booth and have a go at using design software SketchUp.
I didn't feel nervous at all about coming down. To me it was just like one of the most exciting introductions about anything. I mean, I was sitting next door and I know that on the way out of the session, I mean, it was one of those things, I don't know, was it an hour long? How long was it? I don't know, but it went by in seconds and everybody was spellbound. And I go to a lot of things where people are talking over and chatting and looking around and stuff. You could have heard a pin drop in that room.
Also don't want to make it boring for you, do you know what I mean? So we want to make sure you're learning different things each week. So in terms of like production line, me and Dean will probably do a lot of production line stuff.
I think the project's just really sparked the interest of the members, and anything that we can do that engages members for the length of time that it has to get the structure built in the centre to on site here has been absolutely fantastic.
Members have had the opportunity to take part not only in the build, but have also learned skills connected with the planning and development of the project.
Because can you see when that blue line disappears? That's when you go beyond the wall.
Trying to think of some ideas for outside, but I think it's going to be like a vegetable patch.
More anyway. Well, hello, maybe if you've got your own private library at home,
you
don't use the library.
What is he now?
It's okay.
Got me still a bedroom doing ya? Can you see? Bedroom design there, got drawers, wardrobe, the bed. It's like the double room kind of thing. Same on the sitting room's a double room. Couple of seats, bookshelf, table, coffee table, a TV. A kitchen where I've slowly running out of ideas with.
The sleeping area with the bathroom, closed plan, the two doors there, and down this end another set of doors where the patio is. Coming in an open space, an open plan kitchen area with a kitchen bench and the table here, and the stereo with speakers surrounding the table.
And then we've got another panel which is at the other side that looks over the valley, so it looks down to the community and all that, down to the river, which is just going to have one pane in because there's a wall in front of it, so there's no point in putting a full. It's just a
panel, it's not a door.
Yeah, so it's this one. So it's this one that sits in front of the wall here.
That's the gable end of Steenberg's.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, it's something else, isn't it? Like building a house is it's impressive. Give me confidence, you know, when it's done.
Learning how to break tables. Learning how to take different joints and take your time, and things will be a lot better if you take your time.
Before the whole thing started, I thought it was going to be quite scary. You know, like loads of people. I mean, not that there isn't loads of people, you know what I mean? Like 30 people in a room and like everyone running around with drills and hammers and stuff. I was a bit, oh god. But it's quite nice. It's just chilled out. Everyone's doing what they're doing, and I think everyone's sort of working together nicely and getting on with it.
Over the course of the project, we've had many discussions about things like home ownership, individual experiences of self-building, and homelessness.
It's a bit easier. Everywhere you go, along the sides of the jungle motorways and that, well, they're not motorways, they're just dirt tracks. But everywhere you go, built on either side, it's all wooden timber frame buildings, and they're built them themselves, you know, these guys. But then obviously there's some professionally built buildings, much larger, where they have hotels and pubs, but they're all timber framed, you know. Very little brick out there and stuff. Because it's just expensive. It's like a third world country, believe me.
Yeah.
Probably when you go to San Ignacio, no, not San Ignacio. We went up to the islands onto the quays, and they got a lot of brick and that up stuff up there, cement and all that for up there. Because the Americans come down from Florida to spend their time on their boats. Moored in the quays, San Andreas quay, San Pedro I'd call it. So that was the only place I ever seen concrete.
I actually went to Borneo a few years ago. I was there for 6 months. I had the poor children through Mobex with is it another Princess Trust?
Alright,
I was able to go to Borneo for 6 months and all that.
I bet you saw some
self-builds
cool there.
I was sleeping in the middle of a woods in a hammock from tree to tree.
Really?
In the middle of the pitch black. I had to use my trainers as pillars in case like creepy crawlers down in and everything like that, where your mossy net runs in and stuff like that, and you're lying in the pitch black woods.
It's dark in the jungle, doesn't it?
We did a time and when you pause and that one, it was rather scary, like. But we got to build mud huts and everything.
Really?
Span off, aye.
How did you do that? Tell us how you did
Through,
it.
like, what the mud
Like
huts.
yeah, like.
How do you make a hut out of wood?
Well, it was more like the wood. The kind of the wood was for mud. MUD,
Yeah.
kind of a wooden frame kind of thing, and then we're just going to basically slap loads of mud on. Now the way they would in there,
Wattle and daub. Wattle and daub.
Basically, aye. Just build like a little frame kind of thing, so we could like use that as a template and just obviously house much more up there. Now start packing it up and down it and stuff like that. Huh?
And how long did it take to make one?
Oh, we were there for 6 months, so it was a few weeks, like.
Really?
And
that's how they build their
Like that's how they would manage to be able to afford to put a roof over their head.
When you think that there are solutions to homelessness and the housing crisis, why do you think that these kind of solutions aren't used?
That's simply because, well, it's one way of keeping the people down. You can't have the land, you can't have EOS, you can't do anything. You pay your own sort of extortion prices, rent-wise, and it's all, Now people should be building their own houses, and there's loads of land.
Do you think land's the issue though, getting access to land?
Yeah, because if you had the land, people would pitch a tent rather than sleeping in the street. But you can't even pitch a tent, anywhere. It's got to be a campsite, or you've got to have permission to use the land. I thought there was common land, and what happened to the common land? So for the common man who walk the ramblers and like that, we should be able to build. And a lot of people don't gain this skill here. I can build. Given the land, I can build my own house just by coming here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, remember? Larry?
On the other side.
Yeah.
No, but make sure you.
If you haven't got a home, you're homeless, aren't you? I'm sleeping on my pal's floor, so I've got nowhere to live. If you didn't pay your own rent, you're homeless, pretty much.
Yeah.
Was in the hostel and I left because I got sick of it.
they went on the streets.
Well, would that class
On the
as
s-
homeless?
It's on the
Staying in
streets all over. Yes,
Yeah.
it does, because it's not a
Yeah,
permanent
it's
residence.
because you're vulnerably housed and it's only temporary. And
That's
also
right.
what you're saying, it's a kind of pressure cooker in there because very often people, like in my hostel, it's they're at their last gasp and there's huge problems. So everybody's trying to coexist in a little community. But I can understand why you left because things kick off all the time. You know, police are in and out of my hostel.
So there's something going on, isn't there?
And then you're kind of classed as intentionally homeless and
That's
eligible
right, that's right, 'cause I
because you've
walked away
made
from the
yourself
hospital.
homeless, you know?
But I wasn't getting any sleep when I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
All I was
Yeah,
the
that-
day and night, there's noise, and I
It's
like a bit.
non-stop.
I like a bit of peace and quiet.
Yep.
And I went on the streets and I've slept 10 hours like that, solid.
Better than in your bed.
Can't get 10 hours in the hospital. You know what I mean? It's
And in
just
some
crazy.
situations it's actually safer because
Aye.
sometimes it's so bad you don't know if you're gonna.
The offer places
Yeah.
on volume
You mean
and all sorts of stuff.
on the streets? Choosing your own space. I mean, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that you can get to a point where you think, you know what, I'm safer out here.
Go in.
Burn a little bit.
Peter went completely off course and started making full joints, so I think he's kind of won his own battle today. And then I think that between Sam, Daz and Jane, it's pretty close. But the most improved and like the person who's learned the hardest lesson, which is to slow down and not murder everyone as he's working, is Daz.
Oh, well done, Dad.
Thank you very much.
What? You need to give us a speech now. Speech, speech. Speech.
No, nothing. Put your name on it, number one.
No, but speech. I don't have lots of words.
Not accustomed to it.
Yeah, well, thank you. More confidence it's given us, so I'll be working even harder than the moment. Bye. It was on till they looked up.
I did.
Oh, well then, I was wrong.
When I do it, it's just making sure it's straight on. You are a little bit, but it's
Not amazing.
Come on, here, guys.
That's a one.
Yeah. What do you think about it, Jane?
It looks absolutely amazing. That's somebody's house. Am I actually getting to go in?
It's still on with it, by the look of it.
We took a trip to visit architects Mary Kelly and Duncan Roberts in Belford, Northumberland. They have been self-building their own home for 15 years, and they invited us to have a look around and find out more.
Lots of friends around to come and help us put the frames up. You can see we've tried to keep the frames, some of the frames still obvious so that you can see how it's put together. So you can see this is a post here, and these posts come in a line all the way down the middle of the building. So we have, when we built the house, we built it with, I think it's 5 frames in total. So that's one frame going along there, another frame going along there, another frame is in the end wall, another frame is where Duncan is now, standing between the bathroom and the kitchen, and the final frame is the final end wall. But what it means is that where you have a post, and you can see, for example, at the window there's a post, and then you've got the second post here, yeah, and then the other one will be concealed in that wall. Those are carrying all the loads, and as Duncan said, each of those posts will be sitting on a little pad on the ground, and they're being linked, they're being held together or bolted together with the beams, which you can see the ends of the bolts up there. So the posts and the beams are what are carrying all the loads in this house, and all the walls, that's to say the plasterboard, everything else between the posts, that's not doing anything at all. So phase 1 is this bit here. You've come in through there. That's not currently a kitchen. kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedroom, yeah? And then we're building phase 2, which is this bit here, at which point the bathroom becomes a shower room because we want it to be level access. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the bathroom here, take it upstairs into phase 2, going to put a shower in there, means that when my elderly mum comes to stay, she can stay here and she can have a bedroom and a level shower and all that kind of stuff, and we'll have the bathroom upstairs. Yeah.
You're the first one who's done that.
The insulation?
Yeah. Up in the roof.
Yeah, fluffy.
Is it?
Yeah.
You think you could do it?
Aye.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gives you a few ideas and steps.
But you really don't know what goes into it, do you? Until you actually see it yourself. Is that how when it is?
Right.
I can't wait,
Till you get your riggers on.
Can't wait. Tell you what, you will give a heavy stick down on it, yeah?
Brilliant, you know. Very nice. Now, I thought it was an eye-opener, judging by what we are attempting to do. Give an insight how hard it is, and we can achieve it. With a luck.
So it's good. It's made you actually more confident.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a flat pack and ship it somewhere, either the Caribbean or somewhere where I can just build it. Hopefully get some of my friends to come and put it up with us.
Well, that's what you need, some friends, yeah. And but I suppose in the Caribbean it'd be easier to do than here with land issues.
Yeah. Also the stills. Most of the houses in the Caribbean built on stills anyway, so that'll be just perfect.
Inspirational that then two people together could do as much as what they've done on the scale of what they've done. Trying to inspire, and inspiring us for what we've got coming up. If they can do it, I'm saying reason apart from time that we can't do it. I like the planning that went into it. Like a stitch in time saves 90. Now, but thinking now saves problems along the line. I think that's where they've definitely capitalised. Maybe it's taken them years to do it, but I think if done in the wrong way, it could have taken them a lot longer, and they've probably had to undo a lot of what they've already achieved. Like he said, he had one job, and he had to dedicate 2 or 3 days to one. It was just a shift rubbish when he really wanted to get on with doing something structural, and he found that frustrating. So that's hands. Yeah. Now they've got enough people to help, like we have, and they didn't.
So when the project first started, people kind of had their heads down and weren't really mixing or communicating or really getting that involved, and you've kind of seen people grow and develop into a team. And I think it's those life skills that projects like this will give to people. It's the skills which not only will help in getting employment, but just getting on with other people as well. So when you're a tenant, you have to get on with your neighbour. When you're in the job, you have to get on with your other mates. So, and I think this project has been a real sort of life lesson for people, and they've really sort of risen to the challenge.
I thought it'd be good to have a chat, but also tell you about what site build next week, because we're on site from Tuesday next week.
Yeah, site's going to be like different to this. Like it's a working building site, and because of what we're doing with like the actual crisis charity and stuff, we have to be like really careful. There's going to be loads of different tools kicking around. Yeah. Massive timber, and we have to work to a deadline. So it is an actual build.
Which means you don't want me effing about.
Yeah, we need it right as well. So like
health and safety.
Yeah, but there's going to be a few different teams as well. So I've got some lads coming down. They're going to like lead different bits as well.
Gogs,
as Joe leading one.
Steelies.
I'll have all that for you. That's all right. You're not in regards to
this.
Steel toe cap.
The later one to go for not with school. I want to rig them.
Yeah. Well, there might be some rigger boots.
I've actually got some rigger boots in the studio that I could bring down.
Started off just in the workshop, learning how to make different woodworking joints, tenon and mortise and varietal joints and things like that. And but it's actually going out on site and seeing how it's all put together. It's a bigger picture really, and the members have been really enthusiastic about it. It's cracked on, they've done what they've been told to do, because health and safety is paramount on a job like this. But everyone's helping each other, looking out for each other, and learning, great sort of skills and just qualities and teamwork and just helping each other out basically. Alongside that they're been learning as well as new skills. They've been gaining qualifications in lifting and handling and using tools on the site and using them safely. This has been just a great project, you know. To see the sort of enthusiasm. There's been a sort of notice through the last few weeks. There's been a bond between them all, and just they're just raring to go, and to see what they've achieved is just pretty amazing.
Two weeks before the Protohome was due to open to the public, we moved all of the materials and wood down to the site in preparation for the build.
Everyone's realised from being on site how big it actually is. You know, we were doing joints and things and looking at drawings, but it's massive, isn't it?
I've said that over and over. From the first design drawings and looking at the measurements
on the scale,
into there.
on the computer, looking at the scale, and then actually seeing it, it's like, is that the same thing?
It looks at least twice as big to me.
Alright. I absolutely love it. It's the first type of thing I've done, and I'm enjoying every single minute of it. I just wish the sessions could be longer.
You're always supportive, you're always constructive with any kind of ideas, but you also include us the whole time.
On the ball,
and I've been on plenty of courses and plenty of projects, either a part of a project or using it. But the way you do it, it's unique, and it shows in how positive it is with that uniqueness,
that comes through
that community aspect of like, yeah, you've got all this expertise and you've got this vision and you've got these talents and skills, but you make us believe that it is possible, because it is possible.
Yeah. Get plenty more done. Get a lot more done if we get more time.
I thought it would have been a full like hour, was like brilliant. Yeah, to be honest with you, like, by the time I got myself sorted, that's it. Tools down, work time.
I hope there is another one, because it'll definitely expand more on my experience, and you'd already know my limitations of what we can and can't do.
Well, you and Tony are putting up like dartboards and stuff.
The more she learns, the worse that is for me. I got to think need DIY.
So if this same group moved on to another project, I think we'd be already
We'd be
3 or 4 5 steps ahead of what we had to go through at the start. The shyness, insular. We'll not have that anymore, because we'll step straight into it. And just once we learn what tools passed, that'll be the only thing we had to learn. Educational and fun.
Team effort.
So if you want to follow me into the building. So the whole build is based on the Siegel method, which is an architect called Walter Siegel, who specialised the design process, which makes modular kind of building really easy for untrained builders.
So it kind of rests on the principle that there's a minimum amount of materials in the build, and it all gets kind of prefabricated and erected on site. So in this structure there's 5 frames, which are literally just rectangular frames with 3 supporting posts. And you kind of have a barn raising when you build it. So we raise the first one, raise the second one, then we join them together. It's all pre-leveled before, so we string leveled the whole site, so we knew exactly what to cut on the frames. And then we just slowly worked our way across until we had just a skeleton structure. The next step was bolting and securing it all together to stop any kind of rocking and swaying. Then we placed down the floor, which is just exterior grade ply. Really simple, really easy to cut, which we worked with the members to do, so everything in here has been cut or touched at some point by one of the crisis members. The next stage was putting the walls on, and the walls were again ply, slightly fabricated to fit, but they again add to the whole kind of structure of this building. After that we then started on the roof fins. So the design by Excite, which is pretty beautiful to be honest, is just a string of triangular pieces which support the pitch of the roof. So there's 2 matching on each side, which I think there's 17 in total, which flow down the entire run. Because of the nature of the way that the crisis members work, we've had to sort of doctor and change the design slightly. So we made it so the actual fins wrap around here, allowing us to support the roof without putting in an actual wooden structure at the top. From that point, once the kind of skeleton of the roof frames up, we've added the ceiling panels, which are pre-cut to size for the glazing which is going to go on. If you look behind you, there's going to be 2 8x4 doors with glazing as well, which open up onto a decking area, which we're currently building at the minute. And after that, it's going to be all fenced off, sealed and painted.
Fantastic!
The more experience and learning new things, I might like.
I don't know. Yeah, I've learned loads as well, educational as well. I didn't know how to build a house before this.
Well, you're a professional.
Yeah, I'm just lying.
Work well, I like that. Collaboration, love.
Very productive, progressive and worthwhile.
That's nice.
Enjoyment and motivated.
Learn new skills.
Said that one.
I like that motivation, that's good. Actually, the main challenge hasn't been anything to do with constructing the building or the members or anything like that, or the group. It's actually been dealing with levels of bureaucracy. The main problem for us was access to land and getting land just for temporary use. And that was the key problem with the whole project. It took us so long to get just temporary access to land, and thankfully the Youth Building Trust offered this bit of land for us, so that's great. But yeah, it's almost impossible.
I've worked for Crisis for 10 years since we literally opened the building. We didn't have any colours on the wall, and which tiles to use and all that kind of thing. And all the time that I've been there, I've never witnessed a project just like on this scale, but actually just seeing the group of dedicated members working together to get to this end point, and I think you should all be so proud of yourselves.
Give yourself a round of applause.
It made it possible for me, because the inspirational bit I thought was over my head when we had the introduction in the classroom. I thought, too much for me, I'll not be able to just be able to accomplish. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's why I made it a
the
challenge.
the inspirational bit, with the people that were involved, to give her the confidence that we'll be able to do it, and it definitely shone through.
Empowering, like the key thing. Empowering.
It's an innovative model of building, and it certainly could play a part potentially as a solution to where there's an acute housing crisis.
It says a lot about you lot, because when we first started, everyone was quite like insular and working on their own. We say like at work, like the lads are sort of an extension of each other, and that's just to make it safe. But that doesn't have to apply to work. So when you've been working there, I've noticed that you're actually teaching each other now, which is amazing. So you could just, to be honest, could pretty much do this on your own. And you've all slowed right down, which is amazing. Like everyone comes in gung ho, but now like you've got it, and you all work like a team, like a really good team. So
thanks very much.
It's all right.
Yeah, man.
we exceeded expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
The house is really meant to be like a provocation, like for the city, you know, for more affordable but more kind of participatory housing for people either on low incomes or homeless or at risk of homelessness, because I think that often there's so little choice for people who have little money or are unemployed or have little opportunities, and I think that that's really key is giving people more choice in housing, but also for that to be participatory as well, for housing to be a kind of learning experience for people. I think that's key, and I think for the house and for the series of exhibitions that's going to be happening inside it, the important thing is that those exhibitions and those events that we have inside it provokes some questions about housing, not just in Newcastle but wider.
We've built a house.
Yay! Start out my yard, Sarah, and go and do it this morning. We've built the house.
Her house.
We've built the house.
My house.
Every morning.
My house.
My house. My house.
As well as Dean and Joe and all the total helpers and Julia and Dom all supporting us, we all supported each other. We all had each other's backs, and the way that you watch Dean working with his colleagues, you know, when it's like, you don't even have to ask, it's like American football. T-square.
You saw them
take measure.
one pass to the next.
I know. So we learned to do that.
that.
Yeah, we learned to do that anyway.
Eventually.
And it's going to keep going on, our interest. Sarah and Tony have a jigsaw.
Yes.
And they've been... And I'm already in my mind when I got my place to stay, instead of thinking about building up my record collection. Well, I'm still going to build up my record collection. So I'm thinking about my tools and I told my dad's like a joiner and builder, and he gets updates every time I speak to him. But when I told him I was going to have a workspace wherever I live, he said, "Oh no, you know, I will buy you a workbench." And I said, "Well, what about, you know, you help me make one?" And he's like, "Get in." So, yeah, it's just going to keep going on and going on, isn't it? Because we are builders, we are creators.
I just want there's going to be something else like this.
There will be, there will be.
Thank you.
Hey, don't mind the all, Julia. Hello, I'm present this to you, Julia. Just to say thank you very much, and just for everyone basically, for one for the project, two for the chance to have a new experience, and just the whole entire project.
Lovely.
Thanks.
Thank you. Give me that. Very important bit.
This is thanks to everyone from the project who's going to help there. Just a little student as well.
Seal of approval. The gaffer, I like that.
Take care, Proto.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, unremembered crisis.
Next, there's another thing I'd like to say. This is for the boys. I'll give the boys a bit of help. I'm just reminding you, Alex, yes, to thank you for the whole experience of land and your tips over it. So I'd like to say thank you, Roy. Right, this is going to be the good bit. We've got to listen to for the main man, the boss. Number one, this is the number 1 tool man. Chris, the very handy man, William. Right, and this couple was my last room. There's another room to see if I can get board. There's a fort that just wanted to be up over it, you know. So, thank you. Can't forget one, that's for one of you. Thank you, boys.
Our dark water, fabulous.
Julia, there's the one there.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
So I'm still working. members and team got you. Julia stresses a lot, basically, about the team. The only thing that seems to calm her down is kind of odd 70s rock, especially. It's a bit more revival. So we've got you this, but also.
Oh wow! That's amazing! That's Alright, getting this on. Stop standing on the floor. That was me!
Oh, I don't get it. Okay, there's some more certificates to give out. Sarah, congratulations. Get it! Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah? Tony? Owen? Darren? He's not down.
We're back at Darren.
There we go.
Give a clap for
And Randolph Paul. Good evening.